Hello everyone, we will start with solid state today. Now you all know that matter exists in three states and these states are solid, liquid and gaseous states. Now we will start with classification of solids. The first one is crystalline solid. Now you all know that crystalline solids are such that they are arranged in a very proper form. The constituent particles, there is a definite arrangement of the constituent particles in a 3D arrangement in a crystalline solids. However, in the amorphous solids, it's not regular. The constituent particles like atoms, molecules and ions, they doesn't have a regular arrangement. So crystalline solid have a regular arrangement of atoms. Amorphous solids does not have a proper regular arrangement of atoms. Now, as crystalline solids, they have a regular arrangement of the constituent particles. It has a very sharp melting point. It has a definite heat of fusion, and when you cut it with a knife, it get a sharp plane. And generally it's not compressible. You cannot compress a solids because crystalline solids, because the constituent particles are very closely packed. Now as they have a particular definite 3D arrangement, they are called as true solids. They all are anisotropic in nature. Now you will ask, what is the meaning of anisotropic? Anisotropic means the magnitude of different physical properties will be different in different directions. For example, one of the property we will consider, that is coefficient of thermal expansion. When you consider over here in crystalline solids, you will just see that sometimes it is positive in one direction and sometimes it is negative in one direction. So the same property does not exist same value or same magnitude in different directions, so it is called as anisotropic in nature. You can see the diagram. It is anisotropic in nature. Crystalline solids are anisotropic. Why? Because of the particles. Solid is made up of particles. Everything we are studying related to the arrangement of the particles. You all can see over here in different directions. Arrangement of the particles are not same. They are different in different directions. As the arrangement of the particles in a crystalline solid is different in different directions, this is the reason why it is having different properties in different directions, different magnitude. The thermal coefficient of expansion is positive in one side and it is positive in the another direction. This is due to the different arrangement of the constituent particles in different directions. You can see this in the diagram. However, now when you consider the amorphous solid, you know that the 3D arrangement is not regular at all, and over here the properties, they are isotropic in nature. The meaning of isotropic is the magnitude of particular physical properties are same in all the directions. This is again due to the arrangement of the particles. So they don't have a sharp melting point, geometrical configuration is not definite, and they have an irregular cut. Amorphous solid always gets a irregular cut, and as they don't have a regular 3D arrangement, to some extent they can be compressed. Now children, we also call amorphous solids sometimes as supercooled liquids. Why we use this name supercooled liquids? Because they are actually liquids which are cooled, supercooled at such a temperature that it seems they are arranged by their arrangement. It seems that they are solid in nature. So they are called as pseudo-solids. Pseudo means false. So they are actually the liquids which are super cooled. So they resemble the properties of the solids in some way. So they are called as pseudo-solids and they come under the name amorphous solids. They all are isotropic in nature. Now children, we will see what is a lattice. We use the word space lattice, and also we are using the word crystal lattice. Now what is that? When you get a crystal over here in the diagram, you all can see that it is a 3D arrangement of the constituent particles, or else you can use the word it's a 3D arrangement of the structural particles. They are nothing but atoms, molecules or ions. So this 3D arrangement that you all can see of atoms, molecules or ions in this crystal, it is called as a lattice. So it is also called as lattice, or you can use the word crystal lattice, or you can use the word space lattice. Now you all can see that there is a repetition of certain 3D groups are repeated again and again. So this whole lattice is nothing but a repetition of small 3D groups of lattice points. All these corners which you can see, all these corners which are there where the constituent particles are present, these points where the constituent particles are present, they are called as lattice points. So the whole lattice is a repetition of small 3D group of lattice points, and this is nothing but a unit cell. By this diagram, children, you all can understand that a lattice structure is given and a unit cell is also shown again and again. So unit cell is nothing but a repetition which will ultimately result in a lattice structure or a crystal. You all can see the concept is very much clear by this diagram. Now we will consider different types of unit cell. The first one which you can see is SCC, simple cubic cell. Now over here you can see that 8 constituent particles are present at the 8 corners. Now each atom which is present at the corner, it is shared by 8 unit cells. Each atom which is present at the corner, it is shared by other 8 unit cell. So each atom in a unit cell contributes only to 1/8 of that particular unit cell. So the number of atoms in simple cubic cell SCC is 8 into 1 upon 8 is equal to 1 atoms. Now second you all can see is BCC, body centered cubic cell. Over here you can see that 8 electrons are present at the 8 corners and 1 is present at the center of the body of the unit cell, that is body centered cubic cell BCC. Now there are 8 atoms at the corner, and each atoms at the corner contributes to other 8 unit cells. It is shared by other 8 unit cells. So each atom at the corner contributes only to the 1/8 part of that particular unit cell, and there is one atom at the center which contributes fully to that particular unit cell. So if you consider the total number of atoms in that particular unit cell, you will see that it is 8 into 1 upon 8, because all the 8 electron, every 8th electron contributes to 1/8 of the unit cell. So it is 8 into 1 upon 8 plus 1 atom at the center of the body. So it is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 atoms. So there are 2 atoms in BCC. Next you can see is FCC structure. There are 8 atoms at the 8 corners and there are 6 atoms at the 6 faces. So every 8th electron contributes, or it is shared by 8 other unit cells, and it contributes only to the 1/8 of that particular unit cell. So it is 8 into 1 upon 8, and every atom which is present at one face which is there are 6 face atoms which are present at the 6 faces, and each contributes to 2 other faces in that particular unit cell. So it is 6 into 1 upon 2. Total comes to 1 plus 3 is equal to 4 atoms. Now You all can see the arrangement of BCC unit cell over here. Easily by this diagram you can understand. This is for BCC. This diagram you can see for FCC. FCC unit cell. You can see the arrangement of atoms in FCC unit cell. That's all in this part of the video. The other part we will continue in the second part of solid state.